Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us for this very special presentation this morning, part of Kerby Centre's Live Well, Be Well ongoing series of mental well-being presentations, provided with the support of Ecclesiastical Insurance Community Impact Grant and United Way, Calgary and area. Before we begin, as we gather here today, it's vital we also remember the peoples who've gathered here for millennia. This is the Treaty 7 land of the Indigenous peoples of Southern Alberta, the Blackfoot nations of Siksika, Piikani, Kainai, the Tsuut'ina First Nation, the Stoney Nakoda nations of Chiniki, Bearspaw and Wesley, and the historic home of the Northwest Métis and Métis Nation of Alberta Region 3. It is with the goal of reconciliation that we acknowledge the land on which we gather, and we thank the elders of these nations for their timeless contributions to this land. And again, welcome. Our presentation this morning is a very timely one. It's been a difficult 2 years for everyone, and particularly for older adults. Many of us have experienced isolation, loneliness, and anxiety, and as a result have suffered the onset of depression and other mental health challenges. This year, more than ever, we have come to understand that not being okay is okay, and the value of reaching out and staying connected, something we try to do with this series of presentations. There are many facets to mental health, and learning how to identify and manage your symptoms is key. Especially as we age, it is important to build our resilience and find healthy ways to cope with challenges. Today, we're very pleased to welcome back Kerby Centre's very own Vineeta Kapoor, who will help us learn how to find the silver lining and ways to boost our positivity. Vineeta, thanks for joining us this morning. Vineeta is the Kerby Centre's Manager of Information Resources. She holds a master's degree in psychology, along with a postgraduate diploma in guidance and counseling, and has over 18 years of experience working as a psychologist and psychotherapist with different population groups. She also has a certificate from Hospice Foundation of America for dealing with complicated grief in the COVID-19 era, a certificate in the science of well-being from Yale University, and has taken courses in autism, dyslexia therapy, and special education needs. Vineeta, please tell us what we need to do in order to improve our outlook on life and to be positive.
Thanks, Colleen, for the introduction. And it's so good to be here to talk again on something that's really very important. I'll start by answering your question, where a very famous quote from Mahatma Gandhi comes to my mind. It says that a man is but the product of his thoughts. What he thinks, he becomes. So a positive outlook in life helps us to achieve what we want, helps us to feel good, better, and improve our life in a better way. And today I'm going to talk about the different ways that can help you be positive in life. So I would be sharing my screen now. So what is positive thinking? So positive thinking is a mental attitude that expects good and favorable results. A positive mind anticipates happiness, joy, good health, and a successful outcome of every situation and action. You get what you expect. Positive attitude helps to cope more easily with the daily affairs of life. It brings optimism in your life and makes it easier to avoid worry and negative thinking. It's the mental attitude that expects positive results. So having the right attitude is really important. If you are positive, you will focus on the good things, the happy thoughts, successful outcomes. On the other hand, if you are negative, you will focus on all the bad things, sad thoughts, negative outcomes, and start acting and behaving negatively too. This is not right. Nothing is good in my life. So this is the way to failure, frustration, and disappointment. You would never be happy if you think negatively. With a bad attitude, you can never have a positive day. And with a positive attitude, trust me, you can never have a bad day. A positive attitude is like a magnet for positive results. It attracts positivity. Now, meditation is one of the ways in which you can develop positivity. It changes your mind from the subconscious layers. So you don't have to superficially start thinking positive, but it has to be from the subconscious levels. It generates positive energy. It allows logical thinking. So when you are peaceful, meditating, and you are in touch with what you are thinking, what are your thoughts. It calms your mind. And after meditation, you would be in a very different state, more receptive to see the things from a bigger perspective, from the right perspective, and take better decisions in life. It's important to be positive. If you want to be positive, surround yourself with positive people. Negativity is contagious, so try to avoid it. If you're surrounded by negative people, everybody would be complaining. And then you would also have the urge to complain about what's going wrong in your life. But on the other hand, if you are with positive people, everybody is thankful, everybody is seeing the positive side of things. It would really help you. What about the news that comes on our TV channels? So the news, isolate yourself from negative news. The news is often filled with all kinds of depressing information. If you're already in a bad mood, what's going to happen? Avoid watching the news and do something you enjoy doing. Don't look for additional information on the internet. It could weaken your mental state. Everything we need to know, we already know. And if you hear of any negative messages, avoid sending and forwarding it to your friends. Some people just don't have the same mental strength as you have. Instead of helping, you could activate problems as depression. Your positive mood will help protect your immune system, while negative thoughts have been shown to depress your immune system and make it weak against virus. So when we are talking about isolating from negative news, another thing, an important aspect is to be prepared. If you are prepared, you will feel more confident. If you are doing the right thing, if you just take the COVID situation, if you are washing your hands, wearing the mask at all times when you are with people, you are prepared, have taken the vaccine, you know it's that if you are prepared to face it. But if you are doing all the wrong things, then yes, being positive would not help in that direction. If possible, listen to music at home at a pleasant volume. Look for board games to entertain children. Tell stories, future plans. So by increasing social activity, you decrease loneliness. Surround yourself with healthy, happy people then, and the positive energy will affect you in a positive way. So it's about who you are surrounded with. Engage in physical activity. Working out releases chemicals that give you a mood lift. Take a jog, play a sport, or just walk around the block to improve your outlook. It helps. Let's talk about some ways to be positive. Use positive words when talking. Use words such as I can, I am able, it is possible, it can be done. I am possible instead of impossible. That's my favorite tagline. If you constantly say I cannot, you will convince yourself that it's not true. Think I can, but hold on. Do not think only I can, because the moment other people start achieving something, it might create some negative feelings in you too. So yeah, as long as I can, just trust yourself, trust your capability. Replace negative words with positive ones. Repeat to yourself that you do everything possible to have a happy relationship, bright career, good health, and everything positive that you want in your life. So when you're talking about good health, you need to eat healthy, you need to exercise. Remove negative feelings. It's in your hands. Try to disregard and ignore negative thoughts. Substitute them with constructive, happy thoughts. Allow only feelings of happiness, strength, and success. Do not allow negative feelings and thoughts to conquer you when you are in a bad mood or having a bad day. Remove negativity and focus on positive things. Just think to yourself, is it just a bad day or just 5 minutes that I milked through all the day and spoiled it? Give yourself credit. Often we feel frustrated or upset because we only concentrate on the bad things or our mistakes instead of giving ourselves credit for what we did right. Because one bad mistake shadows all the good things that you did. But allow yourself to feel good about the things you have accomplished or did well, even you have missed if you have messed up in some other areas. It's okay to make mistakes. Take control of your decisions. You are the boss of what is going on in your life. Even when you feel you don't have a choice, make the choice to be happier and more positive. Choose joy. It's in your hands. Do not give the steering of your happiness in the hands of others. That's the biggest mistake we make. Our happiness, this has been the general observation. We let other people decide whether we are going to be happy or not. Let that not be. Be your own boss to decide that it's your choice to be happy. Read at least one page of an inspiring book every day. When talking of books, I would strongly recommend you all to go through the book, The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. That's one of my favorites too. If you read at least one page of it every day, you will see the magical difference in your lives. Talking about positive affirmations. Now, what is positive affirmation? So positive affirmation will help you to be optimistic and remind you of the good things in your life. These are statements you repeat to yourself every day to feel good. If you are struggling with low self-esteem, you should repeat positive affirmation statements daily, morning or evening, whenever you feel low. That will help you to overcome negative thoughts. Say to yourself, I am happy, I'm beautiful, I'm strong, I'm confident, I'm loved. I will be fearless. Today is a day to start something new. Today is full of possibilities. So when you keep repeating these sentences over and over again, they become a part of your thoughts. And whatever are your thoughts, they become actions and you start acting in a positive way. Impossible or I am possible. Use words that evoke success and strength. Fill your thoughts with words that make you feel strong, happy, having control over your life. Make an effort to focus on these words instead of words that suggest failure and incompetence. So when we say I can and I can't, it's just a T that makes a difference. So remove the T and replace it with I can. I am possible or impossible. You can see on the screen, I am, remove that, convert the M to I am, and then you'll make everything possible. Periodically during the day, stop and evaluate what you have been thinking. If you find that your thoughts are mainly negative, try to find a way to put a positive spin on them. Don't say anything to yourself that you wouldn't say to anyone else. So taste your words, taste your thoughts before serving to others. If things don't go as you planned, analyze what went wrong. Learn from your mistakes. Positive thinking is not about denying that nothing can go wrong. So don't mistake this. Things will go wrong. We all make mistakes, but don't brood over your mistakes. Instead, take the time to see what went wrong. What are the reasons behind the failure so that you can avoid those mistakes in future and look forward with a positive approach. It can be a good learning experience. Forgive yourself. Don't be very harsh with yourself. It's okay to make mistakes. Let go of the past. The past is in your head, the future is in your hands. The past does not determine your future, so why focus on it? If you find yourself ruminating on the past, make a conscious effort to take your thoughts in another direction. The past is behind you, and no matter how bad things were in the past, you can do nothing to change them. Whenever you feel negative thoughts about the past come up, replace them with positive thoughts about the future. Oh, now this is one of the favorite parts of my presentation. It's a poem I'm going to share with you, How to Live with My Body by John Rodell. My brain and heart divorced a decade ago over who was to blame about how big of a mess I have become. Eventually, they couldn't be in the same room with each other. Now my head and heart share custody of me. I stay with my brain during the week, and my heart gets me on weekends. They never speak to one another. Instead, they give me the same note to pass to each other every week. and the notes they send to one another always say the same thing. This is all your fault. On Sundays, my heart complains about how my head has let me down in the past. And on Wednesdays, my head lists all of the times my heart has screwed things up for me in the future. They blame each other for the state of my life. There's been a lot of yelling and crying, so lately I've been spending a lot of time with my gut, who serves as my unofficial therapist most nights. I sneak out of the window in my rib cage and slide down my spine and collapse on my gut's plush leather chair. That's always open for me, and I just sit until the sun comes up. Last evening, my gut asked me if I was having a hard time being caught between my head and the heart. I nodded. I said, I don't know if I could live with either of them anymore. My heart is always sad about something that happened yesterday, while my head is always worried about something that may happen tomorrow. I lamented, my gut squeezed my hand. I just can't live with my mistakes of the past or my anxiety about the future. I sighed. My gut smiled and said, in that case, you should go stay with your lungs for a while. I was confused. The look on my face gave it away. If you are exhausted about your heart's obsession with the fixed past and your mind's focus on the uncertain future, your lungs are the perfect place for you. There is no yesterday in your lungs. There is no tomorrow there either. There is only now. There is only inhale there. There is only exhale. There is only this moment. There is only breath. And in that breath, you can rest while your heart and head work their relationship out. This morning, while my brain was busy reading tea leaves and while my heart was staring at old photographs, I packed a little bag and walked to the door of my lungs. Before I could even knock, she opened the door with a smile, and as a gust of air embraced me, she said, "What took you so long?" By John Rodell. Isn't it beautiful? I love this. Okay, proceeding to the presentation. Consciously accept the benefits of positive thinking. You have to believe that negative thoughts are bad for you and that positive ones are helpful and healthy. Once you have accepted the value of being positive consciously, will yourself to think of positive things and catch yourself whenever you say or think of a negative aspect or element. Several times a day, take a moment to analyze what you are thinking. Are you being positive or negative? And as soon as you catch yourself being negative, now that's the time you need to look for something positive about the situation and focus on it. There is something positive about each situation. Even the clock that is not working tells the correct time twice a day. Have you ever thought of it? Now practice these simple exercises to keep your thoughts positive. If you see the top one, the positive thinking, so that starts with your brain, with your head. So start having positive thoughts in your mind. Whatever you are thinking, if that's positive, it's more likely that you will engage in positive actions because your thoughts are turning to actions. If you'll start acting positively and you keep repeating those actions, they would become habits. So automatically your actions would transform into positive habits. And if it becomes a habit to act positively, automatically you will start getting positive results. So it's a cycle. And the more you practice this, the better you'll be in staying positive. Visualization. That plays an important role. Think of failure as an opportunity. Sometimes the most negative things in our lives give us the opportunities that we may not have seen otherwise. For example, if you lose your job, it can be a good opportunity to go back to school or start your own business or do something that you have always enjoyed doing. So instead of sitting and brooding over losing a job, You could just see it as an opportunity of doing something that you have always enjoyed. Visualize your goal. So visualize means just imagining that you are there in that situation. What if you achieve your goal? That is a big motivation to take you where you want to be. Visualization literally rewires our brains, mentally clearing the path and making a goal much more achievable. So which it brings us back to our drawing technique. So drawing a picture of your visualized mental image takes the practice of visualization a step further. It doubles down on visualization. So if you want to lose 10 pounds, draw your picture as you would look when you have lost 10 pounds. Or if you want to achieve something, you want to have a promotion at your job. Think of how your office would be, what your new role would be. And that's just thinking about having achieved that goal is going to motivate you even more and make it more achievable. Expect success. Focus on problems or solutions. Well, if you focus on problems, you'll have more problems. But if you are looking for solutions, you will start seeing the opportunities, the ways to achieve your goal. So the key to success is hard work and strength of brain. And the silly part is that we only use 10% of our brain. Humans have an unlimited capacity to learn. Like you would have always seen that message pop up on the computers, hard drive full. But human brain has never said hard drive full. It has unlimited capacity to learn. So try to find solutions instead of focusing on the problem. Work towards finding a solution and getting them resolved. You'll be able to feel proactive and in control of your life. When you try to find solutions, then problems get diluted and you will get success because you break the problem into small bits and try to sort out little things to get the solution. Winners always have a plan and losers always have an excuse. If you want to achieve it, you will find different ways to achieve it. But if you just don't want to do it, you will have 100 excuses, ready-made excuses to just quit. Would like to share this video with you all.
There's a hero if you look inside your heart. You don't have to be afraid of what you are. There's an answer if you reach into your soul, and the sorrow that you know will melt away. And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast
Wasn't this wonderful? Jessica Cox is an inspiration to so many millions of people around the world. So she went over and above her disability and proved that nothing is impossible. So if we see her story and compare it with what we have in our lives, do we have any reason to complain? No more excuses. Stop making excuses. There are always a million excuses for not doing something, even if that something can make them feel happier. Stop putting obstacles and ditch those lame excuses when you hear yourself making them. And anytime you want to see this video, it's available on YouTube. Whenever I reflect on myself and see that I'm making any excuses, I just go and watch this video and then I get my head back in place. No, you can't be making excuses. If she can, why not you? Create realistic goals. Of course, you feel frustrated if you make goals and they are unattainable. So unattainable that you can't reach them no matter how hard you work. So create smaller or more realistic goals so you can get a feeling of accomplishment and stay motivated. It shouldn't be too easy to achieve. It shouldn't be too high that however hard you try, you can't achieve it. It should be just right. Just stretching yourself a little over the limit. So when you start getting those goals and when you have achieved that limit, maybe push yourself a little more to achieve something even higher. But not too high, not too low, just right. That's the key. Don't generalize. Learning how to change negative thinking into positive thoughts isn't easy as it sounds, especially for some people who are used to dwelling on the depressing and disappointing parts of their life. So don't generalize. Not everything is doomed to go wrong when one bad thing happens. Exaggerating the situation can only make you feel worse and make you worry about things that shouldn't be or do not exist at all. Accept the fact that you can't control everything and not everything can go the way you want them to. Choose instead to find the positive in every situation. Focus on the things you can change. Keeping an open mind will help you in learning how to change negative thinking. Don't jump to conclusions. We are very good at jumping to conclusions, but when faced with a difficult situation, take a step back and try to see the bigger picture, the holistic view. Looking at circumstances in a holistic and detached manner will help you get all the necessary information on the matter so that you can be more prepared to approach and solve it. Overreacting on little details will not help and will only make you feel distraught. Again, keeping an open perspective will put you in a better position to respond appropriately instead of reacting in an impulsive manner. So respond, don't react, because reaction is always impulsive without much thought behind it. Don't take everything personally. It's not about you. Some people have this habit of taking everything personally. We have all heard the words, don't take it personally. And we also know that if we don't take things personally, we won't suffer. We will feel free and invulnerable. But why is it so difficult for us to put it into practice? Someone doesn't like us or doesn't want to be with us and we feel rejected and not good enough. Our children, our clients, or our partners haven't expressed the gratitude we have expected and we feel betrayed, angry, and dissatisfied. Our friend forgot our birthday and we feel deeply offended and ignored. At such times, we are so conquered by the insult and disappointment that we don't even think that we can accept the attitude and behavior of people in another way. And if in a situation like this, somebody tells us, stay calm, don't take it personally, we just burst into, I give so much to others and now I don't receive gratitude and recognition. That's not fair. Although it seems personal, people act and react according to their own reality, according to their views, fears, complexes, notions. And this has nothing to do with us. Let this sink in. Your friend or coworker may have offended you because he himself has some issues in his head or doesn't know how to deal with his own frustration. Your friend may have forgotten your birthday not because he doesn't value you, but simply because he doesn't remember dates or doesn't know that this is important to you. There are thousands of reasons why people react in certain situations. And it has nothing to do with you, trust me. When you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. Investing too much emotions on matters that don't require will make you lose focus on what is really important. Instead, direct your attention and spend your energy on improving what you can in the situation. Think over it. Face up to change. Change is the only constant that we have. It's hard at first, messy in the middle, and gorgeous at the end. The world is constantly changing, and you and those around you are changing as well. Make peace with these changes and understand that they don't always mean the end of happiness. Just because they are something different, it's okay. Accept the change. The situation is not forever. This too shall pass. Nothing is permanent. Even if you are dealing with grief of a lost loved one, remember that in time you will feel better. Time is the biggest healer. Take it day by day. Don't stress yourself too much because no matter how bad the situation is, it will change. Take care of yourself. Follow a healthy lifestyle, exercise, eat healthy food, avoid junk food, learn some relaxation techniques to practice when you need a stress break. By following all this, you're giving yourself the message that you are worth taking care of. You are important. Find something to laugh about. Don't take life too seriously. Sometimes you just have to laugh at your problems, knowing that it's not the end of everything. If you don't have anything in your day that's been funny, think about a memory that never fails to make you laugh. It's hard to be negative when you are laughing and smiling. Always laugh when you can. It's cheap medicine. Watch comedy movies and videos and stay with laughter. Smile. Surround yourself with people who make you happy. Just as I mentioned before, positivity is contagious. So be with friends and family members who look on the bright side, have a positive attitude, and can make you feel better about anything going on in your life. Just knowing that you are not alone can be a healing experience. Share your fears or feelings with a friend or even a professional. You will likely feel better after you have gotten things off your chest and someone to share with. Listen to this carefully. Having a friend that always knows just what to say to make you feel like things will be all right is the best thing to have. So have someone whom you can share things with. Celebrate. Share your successes with significant people in your life. Find reasons to celebrate. Look for tiny things that can make you happy. Create your own success story and share it with others. Every time you share your story, it's going to create positive vibes in your mind and you'll feel happy and positive. Do something nice. If you light a lamp for someone, it will also brighten your path. Remember that. Want to feel better? Try doing something nice for someone. You will feel good and might make someone else's day too. Count your blessings. Gratitude is a big one. If you have a family that loves you, a few good friends, food on your table, and a roof over your head, you are richer than you think. Keep a gratitude journal and make it a habit to make a list of all the things that you are grateful for. Take just 60 seconds a day to stop and appreciate the good things of life. And that is going to make a huge difference. When you are feeling low or on the verge of failure, close your eyes and remind yourself of intricate problems you have solved in the past. This will boost your morale to face your challenges. Oh, I've done this before. This is just another one. And see how well I did last time? This is not going to be different. I'm going to get over it. Remind yourself of all the good things. Count your blessings. If you remember the video that we showed off, you just saw of Jessica Cox, doesn't it give us 100 reasons to be thankful for all the things that we have been blessed, a healthy mind, a healthy body, so many people, good family, good friends, everything. It's your choice. You can choose to focus on what's wrong in your life or focus on what's right. The decision is yours, whether you want to be a winner by choosing the right positive attitude. You have half a glass of water, whether you see it as half full or half empty. That depends on your outlook. But if you ask me, what would be my choice? When asked if my cup is half full or half empty, my only response is that I'm thankful I have a cup. I don't have to worry about whether it's half full or half empty. At least I have that. Look for proof instead of making assumptions. You hear something negative about yourself, look for proof. Do not just imagine that if there are 5 people talking, they are just cribbing about you, or they are complaining about you, or talking about you. Go and ask them to find out what is the real thing, what is the actual situation, instead of jumping to conclusions, instead of making assumptions. Do not cook things in your head. Create something. Negativity inspires a lot of destructive feelings. And one way to counter this is by working to create something instead. Do some painting. As you can see in the picture, painting rocks or drawing or doing craft work, a do-it-yourself project, or even putting together a puzzle. So just the sense of accomplishment will boost your mood and make you feel happy. Creating something has a good impact, and it counters the destructive feelings that you might have. Let's watch this video.
So this young man asked his mentor, "How do I be positive all the time?" The mentor responded, "Not be human. Because no human is positive all the time. It is impossible for any human to achieve the state of positivity 100% of the time. And so, the goal should not be to achieve a state of perfection, because that doesn't exist. Instead, the goal should be to grow, to do the daily self-work that creates your best self, the best version of you. And in that daily self-work, you will find clarity. In that daily self-work, you will find intention. And absolutely, in that daily self-work, you will bring out more positivity every day. You will not be perfect. Perfection doesn't exist. It will not happen overnight. No great change happens that fast. There will be setbacks. There will be negative moments. There will be negative reactions. Some old negative patterns will come up. But if you are committed to continue working on yourself every day, those negative moments will not last. They will become less and less frequent and less meaningful, because what comes out is always what is inside. And if what is inside you is mainly positive, then what will come out will be mainly positive. So, feed yourself with that positivity and intention every day. Find what resonates with you in books, audio, the best teachers that make you better. Commit to feed yourself that positivity with the same importance you give food or water. The food is fuel for your physical body, and the self-work is fuel for your soul. Feed both every single day for a truly strong life.
So I really liked the statement in the video that what's inside is what comes out. So when you squeeze an orange, you get orange juice, not mango juice, right? So if we have positive thoughts in our body, in our mind, what comes out is going to be full of positivity. If our mind is full of negativity, negative thoughts, what we speak, what we do, everything is going to be loaded with negativity. So be careful what's there in your mind. Work on it. Self-work is important. Now, when we talk about positivity, our happiness depends on our state of mind, how happy we are. That's going to affect it. And there are some misconceptions of happiness that we need to watch out for, some annoying factors of the brain that we need to watch out. Let's see what they are. So there is a misconception about what are the things that make us happy. Good job, lots of money, awesome stuff, true love, perfect body, perfect grades. Some people think if I have lots of money, I'll be happy. If I have the perfect body or figure or the true love of my life or a good job, that's going to make me happy. But no, things we think will make us happy don't really make us happy. There are things that we can do to become happier. Most of the goals we think will make us happy, they do not make us happy. It's a misconception of happiness. The second misconception is our mind's strongest intuitions are often totally wrong. Watch out for that. There are some annoying features of mind that lead us astray. Look at this figure. Which line looks larger, bigger? The lower one. That's the first thing that comes to our brain, to our mind. This is the shepherd's table illusion. Surprisingly, both the lines here, whether it's the inward arrow or the outward arrow, both the lines are the same size. And here in the second picture, both tabletops are the same size and shape. But it's an illusion. It's an annoying feature of mind that leads us decide that, okay, the left table is bigger than the right one, or the lower line is bigger than the upper one. It's an illusion and it's often wrong. Miswanting things, the act of being mistaken about what and how much you will like something in the future. I just need to get this and I'll be happy. We all come up with a different list of things that we need to buy, and we say to ourselves, if I just had this, it would be a dream come true and I would be the happiest person on earth. And what happens? Are we having the same amount of happiness? Do we just experience what we had thought, how much we would be happy, and for how long that just the happiness stays? Is that duration the same? No, it's not. Now, this is called Ebbinghaus illusion. So our minds don't think in terms of absolutes, but it judges in reference to relative points. So Hermann Ebbinghaus was a German psychologist. And if you see the picture that's on your screen, so look at each of the two orange discs surrounded by the gray disc and try to decide if one is larger than the other. So the orange disc is on the right, appears larger than the one on the left. Look at this. But both discs are precisely the same size. So connecting this to our lives, we tend to make social comparisons and we compare ourselves against other people. For example, if you live in a 1,000-foot apartment and you are surrounded mostly by people who live in an apartment or house significantly larger than yours, you may feel dissatisfied with your apartment. And on the other hand, if you are surrounded by people living in an apartment significantly smaller than yours, like if everybody is living in a 600 feet and you in 1,000-foot apartment, you may feel more satisfied with your house and maybe your life in general. It's illogical. The absolute or true size of the apartment doesn't change, but our own and our others' perception may change depending on the context or reference point. That is a point to which we are judging something. We are judging from the absolutes, the other people that we live with. And that may influence our perception of satisfaction and happiness in general. Isn't that strange? Our minds, another annoying feature is that our minds are built to get used to stuff. And this is a concept called hedonic adaptation. So it's called becoming used to both positive stuff and negative stuff. This is a thing that makes a lot of the awesome stuff we see not as awesome after some time. And we mispredict the duration. We get used to it, the good and the bad stuff. And the second annoying factor is the impact bias. It's the tendency to overestimate the emotional impact of a future event, both in terms of intensity and its duration. If you see in this picture, the cat is thinking that I believe I'm going to enjoy this. And after having 2 or 3 hot dogs, the cat would feel full and say, yeah, she would have loved to have the first one, loved to have the second one, the third one. And as she proceeds, that happiness gradually diminishes. The same happens with our lives. With children, you give them a box of chocolates, immediately they jump and scream with happiness. And then after some time, they have a new list for you, ready, prepared. Okay, this is the next thing that I look to be happy. I need this. So this is the same thing that happens with adults too. So we overestimate the emotional impact of a future event, but gradually we get used to it. The things you craved for stick around. You get used to them. This is one of the reasons that when we get this stuff, it doesn't make us happy. A new model of a phone comes in the market. Oh, if I would just get the new latest model and I would be the happiest person, I would have the best camera. And then first day, you are very happy, extremely delighted. You go and show your new phone, your new car to your friends and everyone. And then what happens after a month? Oh, you just pick up the phone and go to office. Or you are just chatting without even realizing that what you have in your hands right now or the new car that you are driving was one thing that you were craving for a long time, but you have just got used to that stuff. So this is one of the reasons that we get this stuff. It doesn't make us happy. It's the phenomena. Coming to 5 ways to well-being. Connect with your friends, with your neighbors, with people around you and positive people. Take notice of all the good things that are happening in your life. Have a gratitude journal. Keep learning. Have a growth mindset. Learn from your mistakes. Be active, exercise, eat healthy. Give to the community, give back to the community. When we share something, it doubles the happiness. Volunteer if you can. Prayers of thanks induce positivity in the mind. Prayers of complaints and pleas induce negativity. You can see the minus sign on the screen. The minus sign has only one horizontal line, and the plus sign has 2 lines, one horizontal and one vertical. The vertical line, in a sense, cancels the horizontal. It takes a little more effort to write plus than to write minus. Likewise, it's well worth the little extra effort it takes to think positive, whereas lapsing into negativism is way too easy. I suggest we should put in that extra effort and reap the benefits thereof. Be positive. Having a growth mindset is good. Keep exercising your brain, learn something new, join a course or do some craft or a project. It's going to keep you engaged, and an empty mind is a devil's workshop. We all know that. So keep yourself busy, keep growing, have a growth mindset. That's important. What is the best time to change habits? It's today, it's now. Work on it. Beliefs and attitudes are like a box of crayons, which has all the colors. It is your choice which color you use to paint your life. It's all in your hands. If we constantly color the picture gray, it will always be bleak. Try adding some bright colors to the picture by including hope, positivity, humor, and your picture begins to lighten up. Start searching for good things, happy things, and positive things in your environment, and you'll find plenty of colorful crayons to paint your picture. Everything that you do has an impact on your life. And just to end my presentation, can you all tell me what you can see on the screen? You can put your answers in the chat box. Large black dot that can grow into anything I want it to be. Black dot on a large white background. White sheet. A big white sheet of paper and a dot in the middle. Black dot, period. Black circle, large black dot. Okay.
And so what were we actually seeing?
So when we talk about being positive, if we are just seeing a black dot, we are ignoring all the right things that are there in our lives. And the black dot is just the one thing that happened wrong. So when we are talking about being positive, there are 100 things to be grateful for that represent the whole white paper. And one thing that goes wrong depicts the black dot. So instead of focusing on that one dot or the one thing that went wrong, if you are really looking to cultivate a positive mindset, focus on the white sheet.
Very inspiring, and you inspired me to go dig out my blow the dust off.
Oh, wonderful.
I'm thinking, okay, it's been a very long time since I have read that book. So you inspired me to go get it and blow the dust off it. So, and thank you very much. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Sometimes I just think, turn off the news and turn off the social media, because all it's doing is it may be informing you, but it's bringing you down. Yeah. So great information. Thank you very much. And I think we've got some more chats coming in here. I would encourage you at this point, if you have any questions that you'd like to ask Vineeta, by all means, you can pop them into Q&A using the function button on your menu. Yes, it was very motivating. There were a few other chats in here as well, mostly sorry, Linda. Unfortunately, it seems like Linda was having problems with her audio, but yes, absolutely. We will have the video up on our Kerby Centre YouTube channel. It takes a little bit of time. We give it to our digital manager and he does an edit, but we'll let you know when it does get up there. And Gladja said that was a beautiful video. Yes, absolutely. Very inspiring. And it's interesting that now Aditi had seen the white sheet of paper with the black dot. So obviously she's got a very good mindset. And so now Linda says the black dot lower page turned up. You can turn over the page and lose the black dot. Didn't think about that. There was a little bit of a shadow around, so it looked like the bottom of the page was curled up. So that was very, very astute. And Vi says action can start with a very small thing. And Gladja also has a DVD of The Secret. So it looks like we're all going to be going back to revisit The Secret. Jenny, thanks so much for your time and efforts. Great presentation. Shirley has pulled out her secret as well. We've got question in Q&A. Maureen, thanks once again. I find that making to-do lists and then being able to check them off as she accomplishes things to be very affirming. So that's a great suggestion. That's a great suggestion. If anyone else has any questions that they would like to add, by all means, go right ahead. Lots of great accolades for you, Vineeta. So thank you very much. Oh, sorry, it's Glade. Glade. We spoke. I have a terrible time always wanting to romanticize your name. I'm sorry, it's Glade, not Claudia, and it's Irish Gaelic. So thanks for bringing that to my attention, Glade. I'll try to remember next time. And so Anne Beatty wants to know who wrote The Secret.
Rhonda Byrne.
And there's a copy of it here. I don't know. Vineeta has advised Rhonda Byrne, Byrne. And so I'm sure if you just Google it up, and I have seen a video as well. And I think there's also a new kind of adaptation on a Netflix movie that's out just recently as well. So any of those could probably be quite affirming for you. Thanks, Vineeta, for putting that spelling in there. And one of the things that I personally have come to realize, and you touched on it there, is the thoughts of your past. You know, sometimes you cannot get those thoughts out of your head, and the worst thing you can listen to is the thoughts that are in your head sometimes. So I agree with you wholeheartedly. Don't take things personally and stop living in the past. Look to the future, and you'll be a much happier person. Linda says, thank you very much, everyone, for the input, and wishes everybody to keep positive. So unless there is any other questions forthcoming, I think that we can call today a bit of a wrap. And we look forward to having you all join us next week as we present our Kerby Centre Virtual Expo as well. So we will have 2 weeks of presentations from some of Calgary's leading businesses, providers of services and products of interest to people of the 55 plus to help you live your best lives. And I encourage you to go to kerbycentre.com/expo to see the schedule there, and you'll find the links to Eventbrite there for you to click on to get the links for the individual presentations you'd like to register for. And by all means, if you need any assistance with that, just please feel free to reach out to me. We'll make sure that we get you all registered for that. It's going to be a very informative 2 weeks. And stay tuned to we're working on some plans for December and some holiday celebration as well. So stay tuned to that. Glade, overall, the presentation was very good, detailed, informative. She enjoys buying certain things in moderation. Sometimes a sleeve of coffee pods is uplifting. And other small purchases. Thanks very much for your examples. Namaste. All right, so unless there's any further questions coming forward, thank you all very much for joining us today. And Vineeta, thank you once again for your great inspiration. And we look forward to our next presentation in the new year. So, and wish you happy holiday as well. So, thank you all.
Thanks,
and we will see you all again next time.